Well, what's up, everyone? We are doing this for the first time. Obviously, working out some kinks. We are coming to you live from the digital virtual stables of SGPN. Of course, I am Real Money Kramer. Maybe you saw myself and my co-host Scott Bowser on the virtual Kentucky Derby stream live from Las Vegas. That was the kickoff party. This is episode 1. Welcome to Run for the Roses. Scott, how we doing?
I'm doing great, Ryan. I'm happy to be finally doing this. We've been talking about this for a little while.
We've been talking about this for a comical amount of time.
And so it's nice the fact that we finally got it rolling. And yeah, no, I think we got some good stuff for people. I realize like we have a difficult task at hand to try and be like fresh and relevant for people that have been in the game for a while, and also attract new people and not be too over their head and inside baseball. But I think we've done a good job of kind of balancing this.
I mean, really, we're just going to talk about the stuff that we're doing.
Yeah.
And I think through living vicariously through us, maybe you'll get into the game, maybe you won't. I have a feeling you'll be interested in some of the betting components. Maybe you're just someone who, got bored a couple years back and bet on some Madden sims with us.
Yeah, if you're one of
maybe,
those,
maybe you just like betting on regular horse racing. I think either way, there's going to be a way for you to get in the game.
Yeah, I think that the regular SGP audience definitely is going to enjoy the wagering element of the game, and also the fact that there are kind of like ways to buy like a DFS lotto ticket that we'll get into and stuff. So,
yeah. So what should we do first then, Scott? Should we relive the weekend that was?
Yeah, man. Like I think that's a great place to start. We had a great weekend last week. I didn't have neither of us had a good weekend betting the actual Kentucky Derby, but we had a great time on the virtual Kentucky Derby broadcast. So.
And yeah, I mean, if you missed it, it's up on the YouTube channel. There's a whole playlist for Run for the Roses over on Sports Gambling Podcast YouTube channel. But yeah, I mean, did the show live from the Wynn, beautiful studio out there. Got to watch the races. Myself, Scott, Mike Sowers, aka Tombstone, was good enough to join us, and yeah, it was a great time. It's kind of funny talking to people, drunk people in Vegas about digital ponies. But as part of this event, Scott, we not only did we score some sick bottles of Baxis booze, but
shout out to Baxis, sponsors of the Baxis Cup here in the game, but also just sponsor of the game in general, throwing us some bottles. That was very nice.
But we were lucky enough to have a little the inaugural SGPN Classic, which was a free roll. The good people over at Photo Finish Third Time put up, I believe it was up to like $300 in the pot.
400. It was 32,000 Derby. And so the way this game works is $1 US equals 80 Derby. So yeah, 32,000 Derby. Nice little pot there for us.
And essentially, just for those who are wondering the deeper stuff, we'll get into it eventually. We have plans for some like evergreen educational content as well, but essentially there's a stable coin fixed relationship between the US dollar or a US dollar coin and Derby. So the game is it's not one of these games played on a variable rate meme coin, any of that scary stuff. If the wife says no more crypto because that one time you bought butthole and lost everything. Don't worry, you won't have to worry about that. But anyway, we were able to get the good people over at Third Time to put up the free roll, $32K in prize purse, as Scott mentioned, and I think we just have to relive the race because there was no rules about us not entering our own race. So we were coming in with some action. So let's.
And we fired two good ones in there. I will say, we fired. It was an allowance race, which means horses of different grades can compete in it, and they carry different weight limits. So it really kind of let us open up the roster a little on this one. And
I'll kick it to the race. We can kind of talk over it in the beginning, but here we go.
Oh man, it pops so hard, man. Churchill Downs.
How beautiful this place is.
As I like to call it, the Verch. Patrick Fisher in the chat. What's up, Patrick?
I'll be curious to see which dudes get very curious about digital ponies.
Yeah,
because it takes a certain kind of degen. All right, here we go.
Yeah,
And Scott, you can point out our horses are easy to find. We have the white and red
Yeah,
silks.
those sick ass red sleeves with the red cap on the white with the nice logo provided to us by Kramer's daughter.
Oh yeah, she got to work
Yeah,
getting all the
it's a
business. All
family
right,
business over here.
absolutely.
But yeah, you see our horse, the number 14 there, pick 3, a nice S horse that was going off at 7.5 to 1 odds there. So 15 to 2, however you want to put it. But yeah, he's looking pretty solid there. And we also have another horse, Inspector General, in here. Inspector General is an interesting one because he's a little bit lower grade than our other horse, but he kind of has been an outlier there. So I felt like since he'd be carrying less weight, maybe he'd compete here. So that was kind of the reasoning there.
That is the trick with the game. There's a lot of kind of race theory, contest selection. If you're a DFS guy in this game and in this race type, there's a penalty for being better. And so,
and Sowers was on with us. You know, he's a big poker player, DFS guy, but I do think poker players too, like really, like this is kind of up their alley of like really sizing up your opportunities and playing the odds and variance.
I mean, multi-tabling is just like having 50 horses.
Yeah. So here comes pick 3 down the stretch. This is where I know that this horse probably got a little nice finish to it because, man, kind of back and forth here, and then final 100 meters just fucking turns it on and cashes us the first SGPN Classic. And Inspector General ended up finishing 4th there.
Almost a double podium. That would have been pretty nice.
Horsfield in the chat. Who got 3rd? Best value stables, I believe.
I was gonna say, I think it might be Horsfield.
Might be Horsfield, yeah.
And shout out to them. Shout out for the generosity allowing us to. We'll get to it later in the show actually as one of your of our SGPN studs to watch this season. Here, I'll pop us back over here. And yeah, that was. I will say that for content purposes, that was excellent. If there was a way to have gotten this thing fixed for us, that would have been the way to do it. And so we didn't have to fix it. We still got the win. And yeah, it was a perfect way to end the show. I thought it was sweet glory for the little guys, SGPN popping their head up, winning the classic.
You know, and you know, like, hey, I made a little hype video after drinking some of that Baxter's whiskey, and I'll, like, there's been Kentucky Derby champions already.
Yes,
we're the only SGPN Classic champions.
It's true.
We can hang out. I mean, there's gonna be more, I think, in the future here, hopefully. But like, yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. That's pretty cool. Like, I can hang my hat on that one.
Yeah, I mean, again, for content purposes, it was perfect. And again, if you're interested in the game, don't be shy. Plenty of ways. I'll drop a link in the chat. We, in hindsight, should have next episode. There will be a QR code on the screen. If you scan the QR code during any of the videos we're playing,
Horsfield said we'll be awkward if we find out we juiced our own horses to get a 2-season ban from our own race.
Oh, I like that. You call it maybe a little arse cream. Get the arse cream out. A pick 3 definitely. I mean, I can tell you, pick 3, one of our better runner, certainly as a 4-year-old. I know one of the things we're gonna, and yeah, loaded show. So on top of us touting and reliving the classic win,
had to revel in that glory.
We think that the weekly format, I think week 1 every season, we're going to come on, we're going to do obviously a full day reaction. Scott and I will highlight some of the foals that we are going to be looking at in our own stable. Again, you're living vicarious through us. You will go on the ride we want you to go on. So we will react to some of our foals, and then we're going to go through the studs. It's that time of year. You want to get your studs in the stud barn.
Yeah. So breeding week 2 begins Monday, and so breeding begins with week 2, and it goes for 2 weeks. So I think we're going to kind of stretch breeding out over the next couple weeks. Where we're talking about some studs here for next week, and then next week we'll be talking about some mares that are out there and stuff.
Yeah, and I think the mayor conversation probably more just as a conversation about retirement, and yeah, like Scott said. So basically, the way that the game works, if you're not familiar, every month is a season, every 4 weeks is a season, really. And so week 1, like I said, the big event is kind of Foals Day, and then looking forward to breeding. So thought it'd be a good way to kind of break down, review our foals and then talk about the studs. We both plan on using out of house, and we see a lot of value in, and then highlighting I think we should call it the meat market, but highlighting some of the.
I saw that in the notes here, and I really like that idea.
Highlighting some of the thick SGPN stable studs who you might be interested in. And then, as a part of that conversation, I think we go through our retirement process. I have a list of horses that are ready to be retired. I think we'll do it live on the air. I have not consulted with my partner.
Yeah,
here.
so he's gonna surprise me with some of these, and I'm gonna surprise him with some studs too. So I think.
And then the big thing as far as the show is, I think there's some basics that we're going to tackle in the game, and kind of like I said, take you through our journey. But also, let us know what you're interested in. Definitely going to have future plans for interviews, folks in the community, other folks who take to the streaming airwaves to talk about the game. Yep. Certainly going to be talking more about the SGPN Turf Club, the benefits of membership, how you can get involved, whether it's breeding, buying horses, referral. Again, use that code SGPN when you do sign up. Links in the chat, links in the description, wherever you're watching this. And then, have some plans to have some fun here. And so also want to make sure that if you see something, I'm not going to call this see something, say something, Scott. We haven't talked about this, but if you see something in the community that is either great, like you want, give it props, or it's hilarious, or it's horrible, alert us.
Yeah, or they're a huge asshole.
We will address it. We will address it. Maybe we're bringing two people together for a beef. Yeah. Maybe we're just going to make fun of you because that's in some ways that's more therapeutic.
Yeah, we're not afraid to roast.
So community run show. A lot of the stuff will be will be driven by things that you want to hear, you want to see. And and
hopefully I see Bryce in the chat here. Yeah, and so hopefully we'll have also guests from the game and whatnot, and so people it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Oh, absolutely. I think the idea of Bryce joining us from time to time to talk about his diabolical changes to the races and everything else they have planned over there. Also, I love the idea of maybe getting a teaser, little hot and spicy teaser segment with someone from Third Time periodically. We'll see. We know that, and shout out to the guys at Third Time, instrumental in getting the win virtual Kentucky Derby show going. So and going to be supporting this show hopefully. So stay tuned. Like I said, lots in the future. And the one thing we didn't mention, Scott, we will be in the future live streaming races at some point.
Yep.
So
none of these horses have been harmed in the making of this.
Yeah, Scott really wanted to make sure we let everyone
really wanted people to know that these are vegan horses.
This is not gonna be like the show Luck, which fabulous show on HBO got canceled because horses were harmed in the making of that. No horses will be harmed in the making of this.
Yeah, no, and I don't want the PETA people coming at us here. We're doing the right thing with this game, so
Nice. And shout out to X. Chat's alive and well over there. Very, very cool to see it. All right. So how do you want to start, Scott? Well, obviously it's Foals Day.
I mean, I was thinking I think we each came up with the 5 foals in our stable that we're excited about. So
we definitely have some foals to talk about. To pull back the curtain on our dynamic, there's a little bit more of a I race him, you fuck him relationship.
It's kind of like the King of England and the Prime Minister, how there's like a head of government and head of state.
So I will say, for that reason, I do believe Foals Day has a little bit of a different meaning for you.
Oh yeah,
than me. But why don't you want to? Should we
start with number 5 or number
let's go backwards. Let's go backwards. And I'll pull up your screen first.
Okay, so hold on. I got to get over here to
You let me know when you're ready.
So all right, I'm ready. I think
let's see.
Hold on.
Nope, that's
I got to add it. Yeah, I got to add it, right? Yeah.
No, there we go. We got it now. You're in there.
Oh no, that's if we're starting backwards, that's
you gotta switch the go to that. Just click on the share this screen instead.
Yeah. I got it now.
All right. Nope, you're still not. You're still. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Full of Triple Lindy. Is that where we're starting?
Yeah, that's where I'm starting here. Left turf soft horse. I like that a lot. I like the stars. It's got 7.5 stars. Also, just I mean, cosmetically, I think it looks cool. It's got a kind of a punk rock mohawk streak with the blonde floppy mop. And
why don't you click the Bloodline tab so we can see?
Yeah,
we can see that. But which, by the way, I do. It has gotten to the point where we've had so many horses that it's very much a. Does this horse look cool, or am I excited about the parents?
So what I like about this one is, like, we had these Gen Zero as they were about to die that we bought, and so Balanchine and Ziggy Stardust were our 2 better A+ feet mares. Bred them with Perlino, Aqua Egg Lips, 2 of the better early LTS horses, and we got Italian sports car Triple Indy here. So like, yeah, we got it like, and that's S minuses out of those that kind of landed in the middle, but these 2 S minuses up-rolled us to an S here. I'm a big fan of that. I think in a game where the best horses haven't been bred yet, that we're looking at something that, you know, possibly has something in this bloodline that's going to help accelerate it going forward.
And yeah, and if you're new to the game, the grading system essentially, the lowest grade, what is a D? Bowser, am I wrong in saying that?
Yeah,
C minus.
Oh, D. Yeah,
D.
I think I've only seen someone getting a D when they intentionally inbreed something to see how low.
Yeah, and then the highest theoretic or the highest level is SSS.
Yeah, triple S plus would be the highest of the high. D minus would be the lowest of the low.
So as Scott was saying, we're nowhere near the top. The current best horses are SS minuses, and you know this. I think the best way to put some of these horses that we're building these pyramids with are we're hoping to end up with some of our own unique bloodline in the end.
Yep.
When we're years down the road in this game.
Yeah, I think we got a good roll here, and I'm excited to see this one get out on the track soon.
Nice. Do you want me to do?
It's a 2-year-old. Yeah. So you do yours next.
Do you want me to do my? All right. So this, I approach this differently than you because I am more just curious. Mostly, I have attachments to the racers. And so I am often looking at the children of racers, and I got to be honest. This one, you know, I'm a sucker. One of our greatest champions, Dallas Sucks.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It was a horse, and I'll where's the tab we're on? It was a horse that you can see is the dad here, and I'll quickly pull it up to show 73 starts, 26 wins. Certainly one of the best win rates, and a sick ass coat and a sick ass name, and Dallas Sucks. But this was just a horse that did nothing but win. This was kind of our first real example of preference. Stars matter. And so this is a in-house that we did here.
And also we realized too, the importance of the temper with him, I think, where that temper up roll on him really gave him that consistency to get those 26 wins.
Yeah, and you can see like this is not a profile you would think champion, but to put out a S here with, you know, we also did something here where we went low on the stud and higher on the mare. Now Gravity Bong, just to give this a little, you can see it right here. Gravity Bong is a child of a great champion, Vaporize, out of Hollywood Stables, and one of our other great champions, D-Gens Only. So this is kind of us experimenting, putting some of our better winning lines into each other. And the opposite is true about D-Gens Only here with the temper. So seeing it pop up for Gravity Bong, knowing that we have temper here with Dallas Sucks, and very interesting to see what this turns into, especially knowing that we got a decent roll on the stars.
Yeah. And we might get something that, like, this Dallas Sucks was a really good sprinter, and with the more of the distance profile and the genetics of the mother, we might get something in the middle, but we might get the up roll all the way to more of a distance runner. But ideally, it's a horse that can run at multiple distances and compete. Like that's always a lot of fun.
But this is one that I have definitely And again, like there's different, like you can see in the first two horses that we put out, yours is way more of a, this is a very interesting bloodline. We could have Exceller in here. We're seeing the cosmetic grade get
Well,
boosted.
what I really like about this one you picked too is it did kind of it did uproll from the lower dad to the higher mom, like in cosmetic grade. But we also have 8 stars to work with here on the
That's what I mean.
preferences. Yeah, so I mean,
So the combination of that, knowing that I'm racing this, I know that stars are going to help me, especially in a saturated S class. And I have 2 of my favorite champions of SGPN past, Bloodline, getting merged together here. Love this one. All right, you're up next. Are you ready?
yeah. Hold on. I gotta. Um,
I think next time when we're making one slide thing,
yeah. No, that's good.
learnings for show to show. You know.
Hey, we're growing here, but yeah. All right, I got it. Next up is our full of turning stone.
Oh, interesting.
And I'm kind of surprised. I probably should have put this higher on my list, but you'll see maybe with some of the other ones. But this one, Turning Stone so far is the best mare that we've bred in terms of like cosmetic subgrades and everything. If you look into her, she S plus temper, the SS minus start, SS minus speed, S plus stamina, S plus finish. I mean, she's got some pop. And maybe we didn't like we retired her too soon. I think maybe she possibly had a later aging curve, but we wanted to get her into the breeding barn as quick as possible, and I think it's going to pay off with her offspring. But we bred her with Lean Mean Machine, where he's kind of got the heart here that's going to help, I think, balance out what we have. And we got, I mean, I was hoping to get an SS minus roll here. We got an S plus roll, so I think it's going to be a strong S plus.
So yeah, I guess explain that a little bit. Like when we get something that we.
Well, I mean, this goes back to like some of our early, like D-Gens only, some of our earlier winners that we've had, where we noticed it's like clearly they sold it because they were trying to breed that S plus out of the parents, and they didn't get that roll. They got the S roll, so they just want to move on and not mess with the lower stuff. But I mean, with the way the subgrades work, I feel like there's no hard line. There's not as much of a hard line, I think, between these grades as people think. I think each grade's kind of on a spectrum. So like a lower end S or a higher end S could be technically compete and be better consistently than a lower end S plus. I mean, we've seen this time and time out. We've seen S plus win the Kentucky Derby over SS minuses. Like this is because preference stars do matter in this situation too.
So this is, I mean, like you were mentioning earlier, what Turning Stone is officially our best female breeder, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for that reason, this is actually my number 2 on my list. I was surprised you had it so far down. Like this is the strongest starting place we've been in terms of like I feel very confident in this horse having a good chance on the track. And I think for most of our S pluses, I have not been able to say that.
And I mean, really with the half star firm there, that's not the worst thing in the world because I think that opens up a lot of the middle weather preferences.
I think it's just a little game, inside baseball, but certainly I'm looking at the how many out of 6 stars do I have on left and dirt on your turn and surface. Of course there's left and right turn, and of course there's dirt and turf, but that's what I'm really focused on. The firm soft side, certainly going to make it maybe a little bit more different or difficult for discovery, but yeah, so that was actually my number 2 full to watch. So, for my number 4, and again, this is selfishly, let me pull mine up on the screen that I think I accidentally screwed up here. We are going to go to a foal of what is our strongest. The mother, Jerry McGee, is our strongest S female breeder. We believe it comes from Casino and Thug in the Sheets. There's a little bit of like backstory here. Thug in the Sheets was our first S plus purchase. At the time, there was not a lot to go with, to breed it with. So Casino was an obvious choice with the, whether or not you believe in the winning gene. And Jerry McGee turned into a very nice horse for us. You can see 15 podiums out of 35 races.
Yeah,
Nothing
8 out of 9
crazy,
stars, 6 out of 6 on the left and dirt. Like that's
but
a
we see the sub traits here. This is an S horse with only one S minus, one S trait, and then 3 S plus and an SS minus trait. So we think it's a great starting point. And again, I'm becoming a fan of Lucky Dog. We've seen what Lucky Dog has done in terms of some of the horses it has generated.
yeah.
Even creating Kingman, which is considered, Kingman and Shin Godzilla are two of the better SS minus horses on the left dirt side. So you see the quality it's created. In fact, I should have sorted by race earnings here, where you can really see like there have been some horses that have won some dollars. I mean, 350K.
Yeah, Lady Gambit was just in the virtual Kentucky Derby last weekend. Like,
so we love the Lucky Dog bloodline. So that's kind of what put it here. But I'm intrigued by Jerry McGee. I think this is going to be a horse that I'm going to be really focused on the foals that we pop out of here every season.
yeah, I didn't actually have this one on my list. I was thinking about it.
Nice.
Yeah. But I think what kind of the stars kind of knocked me off on that one a little, but no,
still 4.5 and probably not ideal. But again, I think we've had such weakness in our S plus racing crop that I'm just excited to have some horses that I believe that are going to have the sub traits to really perform.
I agree. And I think she can, I think Jerry McGee is one of our more interesting horses in the barn, but
and shout out Tombstone. I mean, you see some of the bloodlines. This Lucky Dog is such a strong stud because I think of some of the stuff that it's coming from, but you also having Casino in here gets you Rose and Delta.
Yeah, and on the plug in the sheet side, go back to product market fit. Yeah, that's a really good, horse.
So we and shout out to SoCal Stables. That's where we got this one from. All right, you're number 3, Bowser.
All right, hold on. Let me make sure I'm doing my diligence here, because my number 3 is kind of interesting. And for people that are obsessed with just the highest grades and the highest end, I got a little I think it's this one.
Yeah, I know we have too many tabs. We're gonna sort this out next time.
Oh, what did I? Nope, wrong one. Hold on.
I think the other thing with
here I found it. All right. So this one, full of Tawny Catania. I know you're thinking, an A plus. Why would you put an A plus colt on here? It's not gonna have much breeding value. That doesn't even. Well, I've been experimenting. Like we said, we got all these Gen 0 horses that were about to die across the spectrum. And I've been trying to create like these weird little custom bloodlines from underneath. So we have stuff to breed with our top end stuff when we, down the line. And especially we want preference stars there. But this one was just kind of a weird experiment. And here's where it gets interesting, because both parents of this horse were A minus. And so that kind of really just stood out to me, when you talk to me about, what foals am I most interested in? Well, this one blew my mind when I looked at it because I was expecting to see a couple A minus foals in our barn that morning, and I didn't. And I'm like, well, where did that one go? And I kept looking, and I realized, wait, it's an A plus. And I looked at it, and it's the grandson of Bowser's Castle. A really good A horse that we had. If you look at him here, 53K in earnings, 34 starts, 11 wins. He was six places. He was a pretty good horse for us.
I mean, honestly, anytime we have having a horse with a 33% win rate in general is just so awesome. It's so much fun to have horses like that.
Yeah. And I mean, with him, it was like, if you look at this, he was an A horse with this outlier S stamina. And so he was just crushing it at 12 furlongs, because he could just go harder than all these other horses at that grade. But see, his son here, that we bred it with this one with, is only an A minus stamina, which I kind of want to breed this Tawny Catane now. Shout out to her from the movie Bachelor Party and White Snake video, RIP. She actually used to be a client of mine at a business management firm.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. But I think I can say that now because she's dead. But yeah, I kind of want to do Bowser's Castle with that one now. Kind of cut out the middleman there and see if we get some, like, go more raw to the uncut source kind of thing there.
Well, yeah, that's the fun. And shout out to the game. They've definitely done a good job of adjusting pricing and kind of, I mean, probably still, if we're being completely honest, breeding the lower end stuff is still on the edge of being negative EV, but I think they've made it a little easier to do so by lowering the cost on these. Would they drop? Basically, green and below is dropped to 1,000.
S minus and below is dropped to
S minus and below.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
for us, like real world example of us doing an in-house breed, because what's that end up costing us?
That costs us like 500 derby, so $6.25. Like that's not that's but like I said, I'm really into these like accelerated bloodlines where, like, if you look, there's one S minus in here, and then everything else is like B plus, A, B, and somehow this combination, this recipe produced an A plus. So it's cheap for me to experiment here with this. And now we can kind of translate that and try and figure out this recipe and see if it applies to some of our higher grades. So,
oh yeah, and I think you see the difference in what Bowser over here is excited for and what I'm excited for. All right, next up for me, this is
okay. Oh
again.
yeah.
So D-Gens only. One of our, for a little history here, D-Gens only was a purchase of ours. I would say when we finally entered the game, we decided at some point to make a decent sized purchase. We purchased 6 horses, 2 S minus and 4 S. And we had
kind of like trimming the edges with like 1 or 2 a season leading up to that. But we were like, all right, we need a few runners. Like,
yeah, we had done a pair. So you had originally bought one, Mr. Lee, and then there was a pair, and maybe one more pair, and then we went for this 6 horse purchase. And then DJ Zoli was one of the 4 S horses.
Finished 5th in the Kentucky Derby.
Maybe it was 3. It was 3 S minus and 3 S, and yeah, finished 5th in the Kentucky Derby. We had also that in that same crop, we had Deuces Wild, who we talked about earlier. Who had a tremendous go at it, and minus 110.
Yeah.
All 3 finished 5th in the Derby, minus 110, 3rd in the Gallop, and Deuces Wild was what, the Bourbon Stakes, maybe 3rd place as well.
I think it was second actually in the Bourbon.
Yeah, it was one of these seasons where we just anyway. So sentimental here, but this horse, this is also the horse that we turned down the largest offer from another stable who wanted to pick up D-Gens only. But yeah, I'm excited. We talked already about one of D-Gens only's kid. I'm just holding on. Like this was another extremely fun horse to run. As you can see it, especially in its prime, this horse was just on the podium or in the mix repeatedly, but did not put down a ton of wins. But a very, very fun horse to run. And in this case, we're putting it together again. Shout out Best Value Stables, hooked us up with Samurai, one of our favorite Gen ones in the game, and
over $1 million in career earnings. There's not many million career earnings horses in the game. It's nice having that in the stable. I'll say that.
So had to get a couple, or at least had to get one pairing where we got Samurai and D-Gens only together. So very excited.
We do have another one though in Heidi Fleiss, that horse.
Do we? Okay.
Yeah, she is a product of that combination.
Oh, nice. So which I should go back and look, and no matter what the race results are for that horse, I'm going to be excited for this one. So who's your number 3?
No, that was my number 3. So we're on to my number 2 here.
Nice.
Yeah, my number 2. Okay, let's make sure I get. I'm going to get this right this time. I swear.
You got it.
Yeah, the positivity, right? All right. The full of PB and pills. We would have been kind of lacking on the LDS side with quality studs, right? And I think this is one of our first S plus studs on the LDS side, so I'm excited to get that going over there. Most of our higher end stuff's been on the LDF side so far, but this is also a Samurai kid. See, we took his LDF blood with 1 star and went with the PB and pills 1.5 star soft. So this particular PFP, like Scott Street, G Spot, these Bloodlines Samurai are not common on the LDS side. So I think that's going to open up a lot of opportunity to us down the line here.
Yeah, I figured you like PB and pills. I figured, and then Elvis is the what 3-time Derby winner. Is that correct?
Yeah, Elvis has produced some serious stuff on this Bloodline. So having this and getting it up to S, like once again, I mean, like you see a kind of a theme with me where it's like an S and an S made an S plus here. That gets me excited. That shows that we're trending upwards.
Yeah, doing something right.
Yep.
All right. So my number 2 was full of Turning Stone. We already talked about, and I have a feeling we have the same number 1. So
we definitely have the same number 1. Yeah, just bring it up because this, and dude, talk about trending upwards on this one because yes, we did it. We already named this one Generalissimo,
which I don't know if you meant to, but having Magnifico.
I shoot you.
And so our first SS minus on the left dirt side. Take it away, Bowser. Let's talk about it.
Oh man, I'm pumped for this one. Well, first off, like Carl Sagan is a very quality stud over in the just in the game in general. And so this, like, once again, this is one of those down roll kids where it's like they were trying to breed another SS minus here with Carl Sagan, but they got the S plus. Well, this kind of blew my mind because scroll down, Kramer, because we got this with an S plus here in Fudo Ball. And then the mother is Street Meat, an S. So like, dude, I don't know how many SS minus horses in the game fit this profile of an S plus and an S parent with only one SS minus in the entire line. Like, it's very interesting to me. And also, it's the first time we hit the highest grade in the game.
Yeah, all of this is positive. I probably should have had first half unders kid this season. In the first half unders, of course, a D-Gen's only sibling with Polychrome here. Probably should have had them on the Foals watch list because they first half unders has been a pretty good breeder for us, but just kind of reflecting on the strength of the grandparents in this bloodline. We have Lucy's Wood and Rose with Polychrome. We have Shawnee Bear.
Lucy's Wood and Rose over 3 million in earnings.
We have Shawnee Bear and Snowball, who made one of the better. I would say this is Hadal is one of the horses we've gone to a ton out of Ted Racing.
Yeah, because I mean that SS minus finish for a horse with that kind of profile, like I don't know, that really does a lot of wonders for us, especially on that back stretch. And
then just Sprinter Sacre, major winner, million in earnings, and
top YSM horse. Shout out to Yeep. Like PEB was one on the broadcast last week. Really cool guy.
Yeah. Shout out to everyone for being cool guys. And again,
it's Channing Brown in the chat saying love these names. Oh man, dude, wait till you see some of the other ones we've done over like we have some hilarious ones.
So here. Yeah, I mean, really, this is just first time we have an SS minus. So hopefully it doesn't suck. If it, we don't have great star preference here, but if this thing doesn't suck, what this will do to our stable, having this colt here, could be huge. Could be huge, Bowser.
Yeah, no, this is game changing shit right here, man. Like this is
do you think it's related that we won the SGPN Classic and got our first SS minus in the same weekend, basically?
See, no, because I think our process is becoming more and more dialed in, and so we're just getting better. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but we're just getting better, And so I expect more. I expect another SS, because like what was it last season? I was really let down when Turning Stone and the Cat's Pajamas didn't produce an SS minus before us. Then I was just like, well, no, that's an S plus and it's a female. That we're gonna get one out of that. Then like fuck it.
You also got to look at some of the big stables and see like GVG took many seasons of high volume breeding to get there. So
and so
too upset.
I'll say this: I was not expecting this combo to produce our first one.
No, definitely surprised and definitely looking forward to doing more with it, obviously.
Well, and I mean, we'll talk about this a little bit more in one of the upcoming segments, but I mean, this is why you want to breed out of house with your higher end stuff. Because I mean, if you're going to hit, as Kramer would say, like hit the tip of that spear, you can only do it, so you can only lift yourself so much. Like, it's the classic pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Well, you can't really do that. That's the saying's ironic, you know.
And this is actually we should pull up the breed report for this
Yeah,
one.
no, yeah, that's a good call, because we are Jockey Club executive members, which you can get in the Jockey Club by owning PFPs that the game has, and they used to be attached with Crown. The Crown's out of them, but they're still valuable to be members of the Jockey Club. We are in the exec group.
So
So
this
yeah,
is
dude, yeah, this report, like, this is kind of what I've been trying to put together, is like, yeah, this horse could have possibly been like an A+ too, if you look at it on a different
if you
way.
look at this, this is what we're looking for. So what this is 1,000 simulations. Your general distribution here. I assume that the main block being something like one standard deviation or a half from the mean, and then the lines being the outliers. Something that Sowers resonated with me when we did the live show from the win was, yeah, but this is only 1,000. What about 10,000 simulations? And so I do think it's very interesting. And what we've been breeding for is like wider ranges like this. Like Scott said, this could have been, we could have gotten some green in this one, but also we could get as high as SS plus. And so, it seems like we got some up rolls here. Now, obviously the temper having a very narrow outcome will be interesting to see how this, what we did get here. But
I think with like the star roll, for example, we have like a really good LDS horse, been a decent breeder for us in Sunset Boulevard, that's produced some decent stuff so far, that I think she could be a match, even though it's LDS, with this eventually, because she's got that higher temper outcome, and that could take this line to the next level.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's some mixed thoughts on importance of focusing on temper and not focusing on temper. Essentially, if you're new to the game, what temper is the like consistency trait, I guess you would say. The likelihood, like a high temper, is going to help all the other subgrades work together well and make sure that you're getting the optimal performance, or at least closer to the optimal performance every time.
Yeah.
Versus a low temper might be you're more likely to see a horse win a race and then finish 10th.
And then with like start, speed, stamina, finish, I think those are all pretty self-explanatory. But heart, from what we've come to understand, is basically tied to its ability to show up in a big spot. So the bigger the stakes, the bigger the heart. And that's why, like in the claiming market, where you can do there's claimer races where you can claim the horses. I do think if you look at a horse in there that has like both parents with high heart, and a horse that's like maybe not the best in claiming races, there's something to claiming that, because maybe it just needs to step up in competition.
Yeah. And to your point, heart is like, like Jalen Brunson has heart. Jason Tatum does not have heart. That would be a good way to heart for dummies. All right. So, and sorry, while you were talking there, I was rapidly.
Oh, Bryce saying Sens just sent us a gift, man. I'm gonna click on this, dude. This is awesome. Thank you, Sens. Thank you, Bryce. You guys, I gotta say this.
All right, and the QR code. I just put the QR code on the screen. You scan that. Scan that bad boy. Oh man, I love getting a gift. I'm getting a little. Can't see beneath the desk here, but I'm getting a little excited, Scott.
Yeah, same here.
Do you want to pull up what the gift is, or should we keep it a secret?
Oh, pull it up. It's like, for some reason the chat like column over here is like, it just, I don't know if it's letting me click it.
No, you're good. I got it.
All right. But yeah, this was an amazing outcome for us on an SS minus. I feel like this was like one of these like really cool. Yeah, just I couldn't be happier. Like I was so pumped. I texted you immediately. Like the new Foals dropped at 8:00. I texted Kramer at 8:25 and 25 seconds.
It was very much like an immediate transpiring of yes. Yes.
Yeah, that's all I said was just yes, all caps.
All right.
Yeah, Joseph, this is a little similar to the one we did before. The I'll say the other game podcast that we had on here. I'm not gonna,
Oh, what do you mean? You're not gonna mention it?
Well, I don't like the trash. Like I'm not the kind of guy that trashes an X to my new, person. Like, so.
I do like how some people won't say the name.
Yeah, I'm a classy guy, so hey, I'll say this: the third time team has been so much better in dealing. Like just it's literally night and day. It's amazing how great they've been to us. So.
Hell yeah! All right, I will figure out how to get this link. And
are you running into the same thing I am, where it's like under the?
Yeah. I'm not. I didn't try all that hard. I'll circle back to it, but we should move on. We should move on. We should move on to the retiring of some horses.
Oh yeah. Okay, so yeah, this is where the segment where I get surprised, where he's gonna throw some horses of ours up here at me. We're gonna talk about whether or not we're gonna retire them. I have a feeling we're gonna retire all of them, but that's just me.
Yeah. All right. Let's get started here. Share this one. All right. So first up, and we're not gonna do all the horses we're retiring, but the ones that are decisions, and certainly the ones that are male, because the way the breeding works is you have to have your studs in the barn before breeding starts. The females, you can kind of do that at any time. So let's look at the first guy. This was a claimer. So
dude, yeah, we claimed this horse for $5.
You want to talk about a hilarious story? So I believe we claimed this from Lacey.
Yep.
She seemed sad about it. So
shout out to Lacey for putting this in a claimer.
Yeah. So this was our claim, I believe, right here. 400. So you were right. $5 claimer. And since I'm going to pull up the charts just so you can see what this thing has done since we claimed it.
Yeah,
it has had a pretty good finish to the career here.
This is some Jim Kramer Mad Money shit right here, dude. It's like, since coming into the SGPN stable, Ecliptic Flame is off the charts. Bye.
So multiple like mini major left, and you can see this is a left turf horse. Nice preference stars.
Very nice.
Almost certainly going to be something to upgrade. That none of the foals we spotlighted were on our left turf side. Our left turf is probably like 10% of the stable.
Excuse me, Triple Lindy. I made sure
you did.
I made sure to put a left turf one in there because that's about 20% of the stable. So it was one of my 5.
There you go. So first one up. This is it's time. First 2 races of the 5-year-old season have been complete duds by its standards, which is unusual. So I think it's time. I also think we're going to use this in breeding.
We're going to want to probably breed with it this season. And like you said, like it's at age 5 now. There is an aging curve to these horses in the game. Some horses have a later aging curve, but some, I think his best days are behind him as a racer. I think it's time for him to get in the barn and start getting busy, if you know what I mean.
All right, let's hit the button. Yes, we want to retire this guy. And again, this is the best success story. We've had a couple decent claimers out there, but this has been the one that has had the most success. And of course it's a long runner. As you can see, a lot of 10, 11, 12, and it somehow has no speed, just pure stamina, finish, and heart here. Very interesting. I wonder what there's obviously use for this, but having that low speed, it does change my opinion of this horse.
Well, I'm pretty sure we have some horses in the stable already that kind of have really good speed that are like the grade below, like S- females that have great speed, but not much else going for them. So this could really help. We get the right rolls on those. I think this is one of those ones where like just seeing what we got on Generalissimo now, like I think if we breed this with the right outlier speed horse in the S-, we can get that like a pretty quality S+ out of it, I think.
And we're gonna put this in for the minimum, obviously. And yeah, I'd say that's something worth noting. Like we're definitely looking to get our blood. We're looking for our studs to get inside of your mares, and we're willing to do deals, trades, whatever. Definitely just want to spread our blood. So hit us up. DMs are open. What did you think about this reveal overall, Bowser? Were you a little? Because I will say this: the only thing my thought is that combination of stamina and finish is very nice.
Yeah, no, that's fucking awesome, and that's kind of what I was expecting on this one. I was probably expecting to be like S+, really, but I knew it it had been running distance so consistently for us and closing on the stretch that I knew it's going to have that stamina and finish. And yeah, honestly, if this horse just had like S- speed, holy shit.
Yeah. All right. Next up, this also probably not a surprise.
All right.
But
Circus Survivor. Yeah. No, this has been a solid horse for us, but yeah, I think he
so I should have shown the blood for the last one, but this is a casino thug in the sheets, like one of our early combos that we went to here. And you could argue that this is going to be our best, potentially our best left dirt stud in the barn, depending on the reveal. I think it's time. A lot of the podium success has come in lower level stuff like benchmark. So we'll probably be missing Heart here, but it did find itself in its 3-year-old season in the to get some wins at least and some respectability around the fleet figure. Again, we don't have a ton of greatness in terms of studs in barn right now. So I do think this could, even though the low earnings, this could still end up being good enough subgrades to be one of our betters.
yeah, I think he can help elevate some of the lower end stuff that we have. And I mean, especially with the preference, like, starting with at least a 7 stars and up, that's always good when you get in these higher levels. So.
All right. So no arguments here.
Nope.
All right. Oh, daddy.
Whoa. Whoa.
Sometimes I just laugh, like the A+ temper. Okay. That kind of makes sense, but whoa. Okay.
SS plus star and SS minus stamina. Very interesting.
It's a 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So it's with the minus. It's like a -1 or whatever we would call it. Yeah. So not the best, but the variance in attribute here makes me want to take a second to look at this breed report.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like I want to see
Which,
like
and
is that
coming
the
back
first
to,
horse
if you,
we've got? Is that the first horse we've had with an SS plus trait now?
I think so. So, and I think if you're new to the game, like there's so much randomness to this breeding aspect of it. I do think it's important that you go back and look, like, how did this horse feel relative to everything else?
Yeah, we got the pink to the green.
Yeah. And wait, this was Thug in the Sheets, right? Thug in the Sheets.
Yeah, Thug in the Sheets and Casino.
Let me pull up this breed report. Just to give everyone a taste of what it looks like. And so, yeah, I mean, this kind of what we're seeing, right? We got a benefit. We got some of the good stuff in the, we got uprolled in, almost certainly got uprolled in speed or sorry, start and stamina.
Yep.
And nothing speed, maybe a slight down roll at S finish. Probably right on it, and then Heart S+ looks good, and the A+ kind of makes sense. So this one came out okay. We basically uprolled a couple things and came out normal on the others. So
yeah, we didn't, because on some of these like when we've done retirements in the past, there's been times where on an S horse or something where all of a sudden be like A- on something in there, and you're like, how did that even happen? Like,
yeah, sometimes you're completely shocked. I feel like that doesn't often happen. All right, why don't we do a couple more?
All right.
Because I think for the most part, we have a decent crop of what I would say donkeys at the 3-year-olds level. Right. So we're gonna stick to, let's just do, we'll do one more, and it's, I know you got to flash some green, so I'll flash 4th place in the SGPN Classic.
I was hoping he was going to be on the list because I've been wanting to get him in the barn and seeing what we can get out of him. So
4 wins on 14 starts, 6 out of 14 podiums, not horrible. Again, this is a Gen 1 from Eclipse and Steampunk Ninja Star, who Eclipse, one of our favorite LDS Gen 1
he's
horses.
The father of Deuces Wild. So yeah, big YSM horse, of course. Like, and you can often say that YSM kind of sort of built their empire off the back of Eclipse in a lot of
Certainly
ways.
one of the big early purchases for them. That it's one of our favorite bloodlines. We have a ton of it in our stable. Let's see what this one. I assume you're gonna have some fun with this one if it shows out nicely.
Yeah, hopefully. I have a feeling this was closer. Yeah, see, I had a feeling that this was gonna have some purple, a good amount of purple in there. So
So a slight up but it's a good concoction of purple here. You got
yeah,
the right stuff, and you're kind of down on the right stuff too. So being down on stamina, we know that can be something you can avoid, and then the temper, you're just going to have some inconsistencies. But to have those 3 purples for a green, I'd say is pretty nice.
yeah, and this is the kind of horse like we have like higher lines already. So the idea would be to breed this with one of our other A+ females, I would say, and trying to get that up roll into the S- tier, and then that kid we breed up into the S's and S+s and stuff. So like this is part of the long term. This is like a piece that's part of the long term plan because I always like a horse with 8 starts and a multiple up roll traits. So
So yeah, I mean, I have one. You know what? There is one more we should talk about.
all right.
It's an S+ Philly. Actually, let's save it. Let's save it for next week. We'll save it for next week.
I know it though, but that S+ Philly might be really good
All right,
to
let's do it.
breed
Let's
with
do it.
a
We
big
cheat a
guy,
little bit.
big dog on Monday. Yeah, let's cheat a little. Let's show a little leg here.
All right, so Swing On is a little star -110. Again, we talked about -110 earlier. A Samurai Kid, 344K Derby, -110 finished. Let's confirm this, but I believe it was.
When
Where's
she
the
did.
gal? Where's the gallop? Third place in
Yeah,
the
third
gallop
place in
season 17. Love this horse. Also a great
84
name.
flea figure in that race, man. Woo!
-110. Yeah, seriously, that showed out. I mean, and again, you look at the traits and you understand why. Finish heart and temper. Good combo there.
And it's kind of
Uh,
surprising because like you look at the traits on this one compared to the others, and you're like, why did this one make so much
yeah,
more money? Like, also it doesn't matter who your crop is you're competing against that season. Like
I think also you have like these are round numbers. Like
yeah,
seeing an S my they're round, but they're not really round. Like imagine if there was a decimal place and there's like
yeah,
it could be between 0 and 100. I think the reality is -110 was probably closer to the top on some of these categories. So anyway, I again, our barn is not that robust with S+ breeding pairs, S+ mares that are really good and worth spending up to go outside the stable. Again, this could very easily turn into another turning stone where it's one of our better horses.
yeah. I
So
agree. This could
and
be
it's
something
hit
we're
the
gonna want
podium
to.
a little bit, but nothing crazy. Like 4 out of 12 isn't horrible, not very good, less than 10% win rate. I think we just call it.
Yep.
And this will be a good way for us. Well, what else? We have
Well, and
more to.
see, this is like so. This is the age 3 that we can retire. But see, horses being born now, or like the 2-year-olds now, can't retire until age 4. That's a new feature in the game. So this is allowing us to kind of get at the head of the curve here with this one. So I
All
say,
right, let's do it. And I actually had a great thought. Because we were planning on doing a value studs segment. I think we saved that because those value studs will be available later in the week, so we can give you some studs that are available for you.
I like that.
And then we'll quickly touch on some of our studs, but let's retire this
Oh,
one.
my value studs are definitely selling out. The ones I
You
have.
think so?
Oh, for sure.
Okay, then
At that price, yeah.
then we'll bring them up. We'll bring them up. All right, here we go.
I don't know if they're
Uh,
for sure, but I mean, it's yeah.
retire.
Let's hit retire. Yeah.
Oh no.
So you're
Oh
just a
no.
second ahead of me on that.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
I mean,
This is somewhat of a letdown, right?
yeah.
We gotta look at the breed. Massive letdown, actually. We gotta look at the breed report here. I'm gonna pull it up, and then we'll
That
hit.
being said, I like that it's at least the S+ in temper and heart. Like that's something the
Oh, I'm gutted right now. Look at this thing. I mean, We didn't get any. We are in the basement. We didn't hit the ceiling on any of this.
No.
We like
Well, we
we
did okay on the start. That's SS minus.
sure, but everything else we failed except for heart. We got it. Yeah, like this should have been a flat S plus, and we somehow got a speed, stamina, finish S concoction.
Yeah.
Bummer. All right, let's. You want to talk about your studs?
Yeah. Did you have that graphic, or do you want me to
Just
pull them
we'll
up?
show them. We'll rapid fire through them.
Okay. So
So
one here that I found 5 here. Do you want me to just do the top 3?
yeah. I'd say do the ones you think will sell out. I mean, the premise of this is like you can go and sort by how much people are charging and go right to the top and find the top studs to breed with. But I think oftentimes it's very much like any other non-linear experiment where you have the cost to get to the very top is sometimes not worth the multiplier. And so I think what Scott's done a good job of is finding a bunch of we'll call them value, but the reality is it's a good. I'm assuming all these guys are at the floor
or close to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But pretty much at the floor. You know, hell, dude. Let's just go through them, dude. Like I'll just do them real quick.
Yeah.
Okay. So first one here, I got Law of the Dial. Now, if you look at this, dude, like oh, can you see it? Wait.
Yeah, scroll down a tiny bit. Perfect.
Okay, so yeah, bad temper roll on this guy, but dude, this is why he's got but he's got Kentucky Derby blood. I believe he won it, if I'm not mistaken. Or comes from a Kentucky Derby line. So it's like, but yeah, getting the up rolls, start, stamina, finish hearts at SS minus there, but you sacrifice it with the temper. I feel like there's something you can balance this out with and really get something if you pop. If you have a horse that has that speed, let's say, and temper, and then it's like in the S plus range and a couple of these other traits, I think you can get something really special out of this.
Yeah.
And then so
what's the cost there?
Cost is 5,000. So, dude, you're basically coming in at the floor here.
To give people perspective, what are you generally seeing from the top end stuff right now?
Well, like
cost wise, like
I'll say
figures
this.
for sure.
If this horse was an SS minus, it would probably be 5 figures. Yeah. I mean, there are some SS minuses cheaper. I'm going to get to them, but yeah, I don't know. This one's really interesting to me, especially if you don't care about temper, because you can make the argument that in these big, huge races, you don't need to be consistent. You just need to pop once, and so, having that everywhere else, very interesting to me on that one. All right. So I think. All right, next one is Randy Marsh and SS minus.
Oh, love Randy Marsh.
I mean, I was watching some South Park earlier today, and boy, is that guy a character. But yeah, no, he's got the start and heart at SS. And that was enough, even though with his S speed, to make him an SS minus overall with the S plus and the other traits. So at 4K for an SS minus like that, you got to be kidding me. He doesn't have the preference stars. Those are going to be kind of hard to get at the higher levels. So give me a fat dose of Randy Marsh this season.
I think generally, if you're trying to breed up to the top level, you're breeding up without thinking about the stars, and then you're going to figure out the stars. Like you'll get the stars back in there later.
Yeah. It's about getting to the top first, though. So, but yeah,
creating the blood or whatever.
Some Randy Marsh at 4K, a lot of fun. All right, next one. Mega Charlie. Ryan, we got to do one left turf. It's in my contract, dude.
Okay.
But as you can see, this guy's got crazy stamina and start, and he's only 5K. I mean, so yeah, I think there's a lot you can do on this one. And he's also got pretty good stars here. Like, 6.5 stars. I don't hate that. But when you have these kind of two outlier traits like that, yeah, I want to get this in our stable.
All right. Any more? I like this one too. You got one more? That's it.
I think I got.
All right. So I was able to.
Oh,
you
no,
got
no.
one more?
Hold on.
I was gonna say I was able to sort out the gift from Stens, which I don't know this man. He's very kind though, Bowser. Do you want to see what it was?
Yeah.
Oh, you got one more? Yeah, do your last one.
Carl Sagan, SS minus. We talked about him earlier. That's why I wanted to make sure I got him in here. Another one. You got the low temper roll, but dude, look at that. SS heart, S plus finish, SS minus everywhere else. Yeah, give me.
How much does this one cost?
4,500, man.
Yeah,
you can find comparable ones with him for like in the 10 to 25K range. So I like, if you don't think you have the real like unless you really think you have that champion mare, I think you're better off doing stuff like this.
Nice. All right. So again, very generous gift, Bowser.
Oh yeah, really? Okay, yeah, I want to see this.
I got it on the screen.
Whoa, we don't have one of these. This is awesome.
This is very generous. So
very generous. Thank you. Wow, Stens, you rule.
I know this. It almost feels like maybe a massage above the table massage is in order here. I don't know. How do we send the comps? We get maybe we send some special services up to the room later.
Yeah, man, we gotta treat this guy to a night at the Legacy Club.
Shout out to Haka, familiar with this horse.
Yeah,
Italian wine racing. I mean, this is
Saturn in there. Saturn.
I mean, Bowser. This is immediately juiced up our left turf side like crazy.
Yeah, and it's also a 1-year-old. So, dude, like, oh man, next season we get to start racing this thing. This could be our first Harbor Classic horse.
Oh my goodness. I'm very excited.
Awesome. I'm pumped, man. Thank you so much, Stens. That's so cool.
Very generous. A lot of pressure now, Bowser. A lot of
pressure. we got to run that one right. Like that one we got to really like. Perfect.
I know. I'm making all these notes. I feel like we need to like where are they now type of updates in the future.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah, this was awesome. All right, so I think we got everything done.
Yeah.
Do we want? Oh, well, should we talk about some of our studs?
Yeah, we got to talk about the meat market, baby.
All right, so man, this is going to be very awesome to run. So I'll just pull up our stable here and pull up the retired. Figure to be a good place to start from.
Who is the next Generalissimo?
Right. Whoa. So who is so the first stud that I would highlight, honestly, because we're starting to see some fun results. I'm going to bring up Brady Hoke. Now,
I have him on my list. He's my number 2.
He's obviously an S, but he's going for the minimum. And as you can see, the subgrades are strong. Temper is the low end, and 5.5 turn and surface stars. We've started to have some decent results, if I'm not mistaken. Some of the younger horses hitting a couple. Just read him
a couple seasons ago. So all his foals are 2 years old, so it's kind of funny to watch this whole crop run together, and like a few of them pop immediately. So yeah, I'm with you on that one. I had him as our number 2 in the.
Oh, nice. Oh, sorry. I did not order these. This is more of just who did you have? Any ones you want me to spotlight here?
Well, so there's a Charged Cybertruck is one that I wanted to kind of because we're seeing it right now with one of the foals that we busted off of that one. I can't think of the name off the top of my head right now, but no,
he's ready to.
By the way, it's the aggressive cleavage. I named that one today. I don't know if you.
I like that. So he's ready to gig. Has shown some early numbers.
And he's ready to gig. Ran about an hour ago, so I'm excited to see results.
Not the best result, Bowser, unfortunately, but we're seeing good fleet figures getting dropped here.
3 out of the 4 races so far over 80 fleet figure, and on this one he did it at 9 furlongs. So maybe we want to go back into the. I'd like to run him at 12 maybe and see what he can do there.
Yeah, it's like it's in the fun range. The long horses are always a little bit more fun.
Yeah, you get your money's worth out of watching him run.
For sure. Yeah, no, and so we'll see how this one goes. But yeah, to give you the idea, this is so Charged Cybertruck, of course, coming from -110 in Casino, who we've been talking about. A lot of good, and Samurai, who shout out Samurai, and then of course on the other side you got the Morning Wood angle.
Yeah, Pleasure Dome. So shout out to our buddy Colby. We wanted to name a horse after Dome Stadiums just to troll him a little. But no, Pleasure Dome is got that Morning Wood blood. I was excited about that horse when we got it, and so yeah, to see this horse doing well, like big fan of this one.
Yeah. Also in the stud barn for the minimum. This is a new one, Bowser. We haven't talked about this. This was a claimer,
dude. He was actually number 3 on my list. So yeah, dude, we've covered now my top 3 already. So
okay, so yeah, I mean, this is decent sub traits here. Again, the temper is the thing that needs to correct a little bit. But
I'm not sure if it's a match for like what we saw earlier, but like, and I mean, we were doing males, but like that horse that we had the really good stats on, but the bad speed, where it's like, okay, this is the kind of horse you want to balance it out with. Like I said, it's probably, I don't even think it's in the same ballpark, but like, I think they're both males actually, but like,
I don't, the game isn't that progressive.
No, it's not that progressive, but like what I'm saying is, like when you see a horse like this where it's got the A+ temper but that SS speed, like that speed's gonna play somewhere, man.
Yes. Any other studs you want to bring up?
Well, I do want to bring up Samurai. I mean, we've been talking about him. We bought him. We're going to be using him a lot next season, but he should have a few covers left after we're done taking up all his seed. But yeah, he's in there at minimum. You look, yeah, he's had over 1 million earnings, but yeah, he also gave us -110. You go through his progeny and just like, I mean, there's so many. I mean, not just ours, but just so many good ones. If you sort it by earnings, I'm sure.
Yeah. So if you look at this, 2 of the top 4 Samurai children of all time are in our barn. Both available, or sorry, one is available for stud too. So on top of Samurai being available, Gopher here, who is a very nice 7.5 star horse at the S- level. If you're doing lower end stuff, that you see, we ran this horse for a while, 65 starts, over 25 podiums.
Yeah, and this horse too.
Good subgrades too.
Very good subgrades, and yeah, like you said, if you want to get in on that lower end, this is a great way to get that going and get that Samurai blood in early. And so,
but yeah, I mean, love Samurai. Love that we got him in the barn again. Shout out to Best Value. Couple other that, I mean, just this is our barn showing all the men by race earnings.
I'm in here right now. Actually, you see behind me. I'm in the barn.
Yeah,
man.
You're checking out all the girth and the length.
Yeah.
We mentioned Dallas Sucks earlier. Tremendous record with the 26 win. I think probably our most winningest horse. Gopher, as we mentioned, Ecliptic Flame now heads into the circle of honor. And 2 more I'll talk about. With not so much Jeremy Powder-Reed, although this is an interesting horse we haven't bred much with, but Bowser's Castle. This came up earlier. This is
we saw what his grandson like came out like. Yeah, man. Like
if you're doing experiments down low and you're looking for distance, I mean, to find the purple stamina down here, very fun. And this horse performed on the track again. Getting that 1 out of 3 races as a win is very, very nice.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I'm glad you highlighted him because he is just a fun horse. And Bowser's Castle, for those who want to know, not just the Mario Brothers reference. My last name is Bowser, as you may or may not know. And I used to host a stand-up comedy show called Bowser's Castle first at El Cid and then the Silver Lake Lounge in the Silver Lake area of Los Angeles. So
very nice.
Yeah.
So and if you want to just have some fun, our first stud ever in the game, Mr. Lee.
Mr. Lee, and he's produced some major winners, believe it or not.
Is that true? Some mini majors?
Yeah, dude. Like I remember Mary Lincoln Todd won the
Oh, you're
won
right.
the first left turf A minus, I believe, and Gloryful. Look at this though. He's an A horse. Look how many of his kids have purple in him.
Not
Like
only
there's
that, but for those who are not super aware of the game, to have podium records at the lower, the A minus B plus level, the seasons that these horse were, pretty impressive.
yeah, no, and
So
like
this
I
is
mean,
actually, there's some decent winning going on in the.
he's consistently producing like some outlier stuff here in the with at least like one purple trait on a lot of these. I mean, it's kind of interesting how he's just got that in him.
Love it. All right. Well, that's the tip jar, right? Go breed with our horses. Go have
Yeah,
sex with our horses,
yeah.
please.
I'm here in the barn fluffing them up. Yeah, they're ready to go. Monday.
Nice.
They'll be ready Monday.
Yeah, you gotta
Pumping them
make
full
sure
of
that
I'm pumping them full of horse Viagra first.
get that ass cream going.
Yeah. Man, horse
All right,
Viagra.
Bowser.
That's basically just what they sell in the gas station dick pill barn.
I like that. So judging by the length of this episode, we maybe don't. This is good. Maybe a little less, maybe a little more. We'll see.
Yeah.
Good stuff, Bowser. Anything else to add before we get out of here?
No, well, thank you, Sens, again, man. That was so cool, dude. And if you want to,
we're gonna follow the life of that horse on the show now.
yeah, it's like a reality show for that horse now.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
it's starting next season, week 1, we're gonna have a huge update on its first like 2-3 races. So it's gonna be very exciting.
Nice. Anything else before we get out of here, Bowser?
No, just thank you third time, and everybody who's playing, make sure you use our code. Oh yeah, well, we talked about the Turf Club. If you want to join the Turf Club, 2 ways. You use our code to sign up.
Yes.
But if you're already in the game, you use one of our studs.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's pretty easy. Buy a horse, stud with us, use our referral, get you in the Turf Club, and then from there, you probably are wondering what is the Turf Club. We'll find out together.
Yeah, Turf. Okay, hey, what first rule of Turf Club? You do not talk about Turf Club unless we're of course pitching it for this.
I can tell you this: we will 100% have horse giveaways.
Yep.
We will have breeding rebates, and the goal will be to have some free rolls built around whether it's breeding with us or whatever else. We'll figure it out. Like I said, first show goal was to get to the second show, but yeah, giveaways and all that fun stuff on the horizon. Already been talking to the guys over at Third Time about it. So
yeah, so we got some cool stuff lined up. Yeah, and make sure
let us know what you let us know what you want to talk what you want us to talk about. I think we'll talk more about race discovery. We'll talk more about betting, more about breeding next week. I think definitely talking more about breeding and some of the studs that are still available will be an interesting topic. And then
absolutely, yeah, some of the undervalued ones that aren't moving. But man, we got Generalissimo in the barn. I can't wait for his career to begin. And hell yeah, dude. But yeah, make sure you guys subscribe and give us a 5-star review.
Like, subscribe, scan the QR code at code SGPN. If you're interested, if you're a PFL, if you're an NFT bro, a PFL guy, we're live. Myself, my sports gambling podcast co-host Sean, Stacking the Money Green. We're live basically 5 nights a week, Sunday through Thursday, on this YouTube channel. If you're watching on YouTube, follow us on X at Gambling Podcast.
Oh yeah, check out my show, Luck Stops Here, where it's a cultural lifestyle degenerate guide to Las Vegas in a lot of ways, and me just joking around with a lot of comedians. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, check out Bowser's show. The Luck Stops Here. Check out his YouTube channel at Scott_Bowser on X, at Kramer Centric for me. Plug. What else are we? Oh, and if you're watching live, Sean and I will be live on VSiN in about an hour and a half from now. Sports Gambling Podcast live on VSiN. We'll be breaking down.
You're
NBA
a machine
action
today, man. You're doing like 4.5 hours of show.
yeah, I am a machine. We'll be talking NBA, NHL, doing a bunch of NFL stuff now that it's out. We even got a nice segment planned for Mr. Shador Sanders. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you to Stens for the sick ass horse. Thank you to Scott for getting excited about having sex or making the horses have sex.
Yeah, man. It's hard to guide it in there.
Yeah, you're coaching. It's a mentorship, if anything. And yeah, well, plan is to be live Friday. So
makes me feel like Burt Reynolds and Boogie Nights.
For Scott, I'm Ryan. We are SGPN Stables. I guess I'm just gonna say let it ride here. Didn't really plan it, but let it ride.